Hello. In this video, I'm going to tell a story. A story about when I was a kid. I was about 10 years old. 10 or 11. I was 10 or 11 years old, and I got hurt. This is a story about one time when I got hurt. I was riding my bike. Or bicycle. Bicycle. So a bike could be this. These are all bikes, but this is only a bicycle. A bicycle is this. So that's not a bicycle, but it's a bike. And this is a bicycle and a bike. It's also a bike. But anyways, I was riding my bike going home from football practice. I was playing football, American football. And I had all of my equipment on. So in American football, you wear big pads all over your body, on your shoulders, on your chest, on your knee, and on your thigh as well, your thigh. You wear pads on your hip, so many pads. And you also wear a helmet, a big helmet. And I had the helmet for football on the handlebar. I had my football helmet just hanging on the handlebar of the bike, the part that you hold. Okay, it's the part of the bike that you hold and you use to steer and go in this direction or that direction. You steer with the handlebar. Normally you do that. I used to ride my bike without touching the handlebars. Most of the time, I just didn't touch the handlebar. I thought it was cool. That's the main reason. It was fun, kind of fun. Well, yes, it was fun to balance, on the bicycle and to just have my hands just down, instead of holding the handlebars. So, imagine I'm riding my bike with no hands. That's how we say that. We say no hands. Riding a bike, no hands. I was riding home, no hands, and I was moving the bike, steering the bike with the seat. Okay, if you don't use your hands on the handlebar, the only way to steer the bike is by moving your hips. You have to move your hips on the seat of the bike. So I was moving my hips and trying to steer the bike onto the sidewalk. I was on the shoulder of the road. This is your shoulder. This is a shoulder. We also say the shoulder of the road. That's the part of the road that's to the side. It's all the way to the side. That's the shoulder. So I was on the shoulder of the road, and I was just going up onto the sidewalk. But there was a difference. There was a difference in the height of the sidewalk and the shoulder. There was just a point where the sidewalk ends, okay, the end of the sidewalk and the end of the shoulder, it was like this, like the sidewalk up here, and then straight down the edge of the sidewalk, like a little curb, okay? This is another good word, a curb. Here are some pictures of a curb. That's the curb. It's part of a sidewalk. There was kind of like a curb to the sidewalk, but it was the lowest part of the sidewalk. Still, it was still the lowest part, but there was a little bit of a curb. And so I was moving my bike, steering the bike onto the sidewalk, and the front tire, right? The front tire, here's a tire. So the front tire hit that little curb. It hit that little part that was like this. And the wheel just went like, it went like this, kind of like, right? Because I'm going forward, and then I touch this curb, and I wasn't holding the handlebars. I wasn't holding them. I had my hands down. So the tire turns. The whole tire sort of turns, and the handlebar moves as well. It turns as well. So this happens. I'm going fast, and so I just go forward, right? I start to fall off of the bike, going forward, okay? Going forward. And the handlebar is turning, okay? It was turning. But when you tell a story you can tell the story like it's happening right now. So the handlebar turns to me and I go flying. I go forward into the handlebar, and the end of the handlebar, the end part, hit my tooth. It hit my teeth. So I am falling forward as the tire and the handlebar are turning, and the handlebar just hits my tooth. This tooth, one of the middle teeth in the middle, and that tooth broke. It just broke in half. So the bottom half of the tooth was there, and the top half, I don't know. It went somewhere. I actually looked for it. When this happened, I started looking for my tooth because I could tell that my tooth was broken. I could tell. I could use my tongue to feel my teeth. And I knew that, okay, this tooth right here is broken. So I was looking on the ground for the other half, the other part of my tooth. I never found my tooth. I never found it. So when this happened, the first thing I noticed was that when I breathed in, when I took a breath in and out, but mostly in. Mostly it was the breath in. It hurt really bad. Ouch. Ow, 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 ow. Ouch. It hurt. That's because the nerve of my tooth was exposed. It was just out. Okay, so what is a nerve? A nerve is what lets you feel things. Okay, for example, this part of my elbow, this part of the skin on my elbow, it doesn't have many nerves. It has like very, very little amount of nerves. So I can just pinch this. I can pinch it and it doesn't hurt. I don't really feel anything. But if I do that to this skin, it hurts. It hurts a little bit because there are more nerves. There are more nerves. My tooth and your teeth, everyone's teeth have nerves. Each tooth has a nerve on the inside. And when I broke the tooth, the nerve was just out. it was out in the air. And the air was actually hurting my tooth. It was just air. And so what I had to do for like a week, like a few days, I had to use my tongue to put a little bit of saliva. It's called saliva, the liquid in your mouth. It's not water, it's saliva. That's what's in your mouth. If you spit, that's saliva. So I would put saliva on top of the tooth, like all day, basically all day, because if I didn't, it would hurt pretty bad to just breathe. So when I put saliva on top of the nerve in my tooth, I wouldn't feel the air moving. I didn't feel the movement of the air. And I actually kept playing football after this. I didn't miss a single day. I just went right back to football. And I would play and do that, like put the saliva on my tooth and just keep playing. And I remember one time the coach in football was going around giving water to us. And in football, to drink water during practice, you keep your helmet on, okay? So you are wearing this helmet and there is a face mask. There is a part of the helmet that's in front of your face. So to drink water without taking off the helmet, the coaches would just squeeze a bottle of water into our mouths. Just into your mouth, they squeeze water. And I remember that the water was cold, a little bit cold. And when I would ask for water, like, hey, can I have some water? And they would squeeze the water into my mouth, and I would go like, ow, 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 okay. And then they would do it again, and I would be like, ow, 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 because the cold water was hitting my tooth. It was hitting my tooth. And they were asking me, like, what are you doing? Why are you saying ouch? And I said, well, my tooth is broken. My tooth hurts. And yeah, I don't really remember what they said. It was just like, okay, that's weird. But yeah, I got the tooth fixed. Well, fixed about a week later. About 1 week after it broke, I went to the dentist, and at the dentist, they just took out the nerve. They just took it out. They removed the nerve from my tooth. And, well, I don't know what they did. I'm not a dentist. But it stopped hurting. It doesn't hurt anymore. So, that's good. But yeah, that was kind of a crazy story. I think I was lucky. I was lucky because the handlebar of the bike went into my face. My face. And the only thing that happened was one tooth broke. Just one tooth. Kind of lucky, actually. Kind of lucky. I hope you enjoyed this story. A little bit long. Kind of a long story, but that's good. And, all right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.